Is that it? Okay, thank you. Right, yeah, it is 2 o'clock, everybody. It's been a long time once again since we've met. Good to see everybody. Hope you're all fit and well. Just wonder if we could all keep our microphones on mute until we need to speak, otherwise we get a lot of background noise, which is not helpful. Okay, so that one, item 1, apologies for absence and attendance of substitutes. And I've got apology from Roy Worthington. Any others? Obviously Councillor Piddock, because he's no longer with the council, so that's 2. I think we still have 2 members missing. No? Okay. Item 2, urgent items, to note any items which the chairman considers to be in urgent nature. We've had none of those.
Councillor Robson has his hand raised.
Hi, Martin. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Steve.
I did raise it while you were doing apologies, but and I don't know where else to say this, but I noticed from our invite list, when it comes up in the calendar, we've still got Alan Barker on the invite list, and I think we agreed some time ago that whilst we were inviting Alan and Keith regularly at one point, that wasn't appropriate anymore. So I was wondering if we needed to remove him from the invite list.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Could we remove him? Make sure we note that to remove them from the list. Thanks, thanks, Steve. Item 3, delegations, to receive notice from members who may wish to move any delegated matter non-delegated, and which will be decided by a majority of members. We've had none of those. Admission of public and press, to consider whether public and press should be excluded. Well, the press may be watching, I don't know. Declarations of interest, to receive declarations by members or quotees of interest in respects of any items on the agenda. Were any declarations of interest? No. Confirmation of minutes from the 9th of July. Are we happy to receive those minutes as read?
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you.
Agreed.
We'll sign them up on a time when whenever that time is going to be, where we all get back together again. We've got item 8D. We've got 1 item for decision. If we cast our mind back to July, and it did go to full council about the work list that we put together and identified. Frank and I sat with John and Brooke some time back and prioritised those. So I think there's about 5 on the list. So the only item today really is to go through that list and agree work groups. We don't appear to have anything more than that. Is that right, John?
Yeah, that's all we've got.
Okay, thank you, John. So if we go down to the work list, I think there were 5 items that were agreed. Let me just get down to them. And those being street cleansing, which of course we already have a committee looking at those. It's been going on for some time, but there's still a considerable amount of work to do there. And there's some items that have been added to that: transparency of street cleaning schedule, developing clear policies around side waste, bulky waste collection, fly tipping, litter bin provision. And I think there was an element in there to do with abandoned vehicles as well. The chair of that, which we will obviously continue to be doing, the chair is Steve. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, I suppose the only point is how we're doing that in the current plan really is that we're due to meet with Keith again, weren't we? For one last, and COVID-19 put a stop to that, and we've just never rounded that off. So it's just how we do these, I suppose, is as much my question.
You're absolutely right. I'll just go through the rest of the list of the people that are on that committee. There's myself, Wendy and Anita. Is that the whole group? Yeah, that's the whole group. Yeah, and I think with any of these work groups, I'm not 100% sure how we're actually going to carry out the task scrutinising these elements when, we can't be face to face. We're not 100% sure who we should talk to. Getting them done. I know this is a 12-month calendar, and these are the ones we'll be looking over the next 12 months. Have you any guidance on that for us, John, on how we're going to actually undertake these tasks?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do it virtually. The street care team are back in the town hall, so they are operating. But one of the things that was really obvious during COVID was increases in fly tipping, and there was a number of reasons for that. One, the HWRC was closed, and then when it reopened, it's very restricted. We had to stop bulky waste collections for nearly 2 months. People were at home and generating more waste. So I think we do need to be dealing with those things now, even if we're having to do it via Zoom. I was hoping that sometime soon we would be able to bring councillors back into the town hall, but I suspect that's probably been put on hold again now. The other thing that we could be looking at is some of the policies. John Byford, who is currently looking after the waste contract, is at the moment writing some policies for us. We definitely need policies on side waste, because side waste does create a lot of litter, especially if it's attacked by animals. And then another thing that was quite obvious as we started to come out of lockdown was that our provision of litter bins isn't the best it could be. There are a number of litter bins that are overfilling regularly because they're in popular places, and then there's other litter bins that don't fill up in a month. So I do know that the Director of People and Place was going to be looking at having a litter bin policy. So I think there is some policy work we can do around it, and it might just be a matter of zooming into each other or just telephone calls to each other.
Right, thanks, John. I'm not sure if that answers Steve's question. Well, I think it does, but Steve, do you want to?
I was going to suggest, Martin, because we met with Keith at the times, Katie and John provided us with some background materials, like you referred to the schedule. So we did get to a certain point, didn't we? I think the point we got to was one of, this isn't as clear as it should be.
Yeah.
Decisions appear to be made a bit on the hoof. But do you think, I'm just thinking, is it worth the share of that group as far as we got? Me writing a side of A4 summary of kind of where we got to, as a, so we don't, because we've done that's happened, and we're a bit in danger of forgetting it or losing it unless we put a mark in the sand almost. So if you all agree, I'm happy to write the side of A4 that summarises where we got to in terms of our initial look at street care or street cleaning, and then we take it from there almost. Do you think, if you think that's useful, I'm willing to do that.
I think that's an absolutely 100% valid point. Indeed, yeah, we did get to a point in time, and there are other things that have come up. So yeah, maybe it's an A4 sheet, say this is where we've got to, and these are the elements we're now going to start to cover. And it might be at that point where you arrange a Zoom meeting with the group to discuss how we're going to go forward with that. It seems sensible. I don't really know what else we can do at the moment. Are you happy with that? Yep.
Yeah. Councillor McClure's got a hand raised.
Yes, Bill.
It's me, Martin. Chair, can I just ask John Penfold a question? John, have we got a new point of contact instead of Keith or Alan at the minute?
We've got a contractor who's looking after the contract. If you've want to raise anything, you're probably best coming through me.
Right.
But Keith will actually be starting work again on Monday from home.
Okay.
So Keith will be available via email.
Brilliant. And the other question was, at our last meeting, we discussed about having possibly the provision of the recycling bins re-implemented did we get anywhere with that to try and reduce the amount of fly tipping and rubbish dumped?
Sorry, what do you mean by recycling things?
You know how we used to have some, we had some outside of the town hall and some were outside, some of the,
Yeah, no, we haven't moved at all on that.
no. Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe that's an item we could pick up, Steve, when we, yeah.
I think that's
Frank?
the list of things to consider.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you,
Frank?
Chair. Yeah, John Byford, the consultant who's arrived from York, was present at the last overview and scrutiny committee, members might recall. Just to report that he was as good as his word. He did meet me in my ward over on Bigger Bank. I had a good scout round, a look at the bins. He seemed to grasp the problem that, you know, they're overflowing, no attention given to them on bank holidays or on, you know, certain weekends, Sundays, and said that he would go away and do some work on it. And I was quite enthused by, you know, he seemed to grasp everything. And I think we can expect to, I think he'll bring good things to the council. That's it, Chair, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Frank. Have we anything more on street cleansing? Or are we happy to go with Steve's suggestion? Yeah, brilliant. And that's according to the council plan. That's a key priority around place. The second one on the list is the impact of COVID going forward. There's quite a few things on this. So the key priority here is prosperity. So we need a group, a working group putting together here. We need a chair and maybe 2 or 3 members. Do we have any volunteers to go onto that group? Don't all put your hands up at once.
I'm happy to help out. I mean, if somebody else wants to be chair, fine, but I'm happy to help on that group.
Okay, so Wendy, you've got your hand up. Yeah, Bill, you've got your hand up.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah, you're happy, and I'll go on that group. I don't mind. Who would like to be chair? Could you chair that, Frank? Are you happy to chair that one?
I prefer to be a foot soldier, Martin, on that one.
Okay.
I'd just be happier if somebody else would chair it. If that's okay.
Okay. No, that's really not a problem. Wendy, do you fancy chairing that one?
I'm similar to Frank actually, Martin, but
so we've got 2 foot soldiers. Bill?
Yeah, I'll chair it. I'm here, okay. I'm back.
Brilliant, thank you, Bill. So on that group then, Katie, we've got Bill McEwen as the chair, Wendy McClure, Frank Cassidy and myself. So that's the 4 on there. There's someone knocking at the door, but I'll try to.
It's Avon calling.
It could well be. I need some makeup. So the remit around that activity is obviously on the minutes. So if I can ask yourself, Bill, if you could have a look through those minutes and maybe get us all together on a Zoom meeting sooner rather than later. Are you happy with that?
Happy to do that. I'll have a scan through and organise that. No problem.
Brilliant. Thanks, Bill. The next one is external and internal communications. This might be quite a simple one, but then again, things are not always simple. The key priority here is people. The need for clear and timely communications has never been so important. We need to ensure that we build on the improved communication delivered by an external provider and integrate that into improving communications of everything we do. Could we have a working group to look at that one, please?
Beyond that, Tim, but I wouldn't want to chair it because I'm already chairing it.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Was that your hand up, Derek?
Yeah.
Are you happy to go on that one?
Yes, thank you.
So that's 2. Could we have another person, Bev? Thanks, Bev. So out of the three of yous, we need a chair.
Chair it.
You will chair it, Steve.
Bev,
Bev will chair it. Oh, you're passing it between you now. Are you going to do that, Bev?
I'm already chairing.
You are. You are. And Steve's chairing.
sorry, Bev, I forgot.
Derek, who's left?
Derek? Can't hear you.
Only me.
Yeah?
Only,
Are you happy to?
I'll do it under protest because we're discussing it at county next week. So I
Okay.
don't want any conflicts of interest on it.
Okay, so can we leave you with that one to come back to us? If you can chair it in the short term and come back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So, Katie, the ones for that are Derek Gorn as chair, Bev and Steve. And the last one, which is member training, continues to build on the outcomes from member training review, and that comes under the priority of people. And I think, Bev, you're already chairing that, are you? Yeah. Who is on that group, Bev? Can you remember? Me?
Yeah, you. I think because it sits with the member training working group, there's myself and you, Martin, and Councillor Brooke and Councillor Blizzard.
Blizzard. Right.
On the member training working group. So it's kind of like an amalgamation of Scrutiny and that group.
Yeah, that's fine. So that covers each of the activities that we'd identified and agreed at full council that we would do over the next 12 months. I think they'll probably take more than 12 months because of maybe the situation we're in, but at least we have a plan. And that's, sorry, Bev.
Good question about outside bodies. There's an outside bodies work.
Oh, there is. I absolutely apologise. There is an outside bodies one. I've skipped that for some reason. There is another one. Outside bodies. The council allocates resource to offering representation on a significant amount of outside bodies. There is poor understanding of the benefits of council being represented on some of these bodies. Members would like to rationalise this so that members' representation is meaningful. And I think that is a really good one, because we do have a lot of outside bodies, and some of them I don't even know what they are and why we have them. And I'm not 100% sure what benefit we actually get from them. So on outside bodies, could we have a group that would look at outside bodies? Colin, what about yourself?
I can do.
Are you happy with that?
Can I make a suggestion, Martin?
You can.
I think the outside bodies one, it could be a desktop exercise. I think it could be done really easily. I think that whether it's members or whether it's members of staff, I think that somebody needs to contact each outside body to find out A, if they still exist, B, do they still want members as on the group, and why do they want a member on the group? And the other bit would be to contact the named member and say, have you ever been invited? Do you ever intend? Do you ever attend? And I think it would be quite a simple desktop exercise. And I think what the scrutiny group would do would be to look at that information when it comes back in, to decide which of these groups do we want to continue with. So I'm not kind of passing the buck, well, I am kind of a little bit, but I almost feel like it's possibly an officer task first, and then we look at the results as a scrutiny of that information. Does that make sense?
That's fair enough. That's a good suggestion. Are you happy with that, John?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Do you want to work with John Penfold on that, Colin? Just so there's
Can do.
And the two of you are one keeping an eye on the other one.
Can I comment on that? Can I comment?
Yeah.
I've been the representative for the gas port terminal the past 6 years, and there's never been a meeting. Never been a meeting. Both the gas terminal and they've said, oh yes, we're going to have one, and it's never occurred. So it's a useless meeting as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, thanks for that, Derek, and I hope that maybe the bit of investigation on this will highlight a lot more of those, and it will free up councillors to do things that are actually meaningful, and not wasting the time trying to organise and get involved with. That is all the outside bodies. Thank you all very, very much for volunteering or being coerced into sitting as chairs and being on those groups. That's great.
You got that right.
Oh, absolutely. There isn't anything else. That's the only thing on the agenda. Is there anything you wish to add, John?
Brooke won't be working with Scrutiny for a few months. She's moving on to a different project. So Katie is going to replace her. I hope somebody's told Katie.
Okay, that's brilliant.
So Katie, point of contact for Scrutiny members.
Okay, so thank you, Katie. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Would you thank Brooke for the time that she has spent keeping us organised over the months, and whenever she's back, we will be happy to see her.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thanks, John. That's everything, everybody. Nothing more to say, really. We don't have any A or B, so we can't do any of that. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your days.
Well done, Chair.